So today's April 6th. We've been in quarantine for 3 weeks now. 3 weeks ago, decided that we were going to close our showroom to the public. Our staff would work from home, and our incredible service and restoration crew would still be here, but they wouldn't be subjected to anyone coming into the showroom. And really, for the safety of our clients and for the safety of everyone, our incredible staff and employees, we felt like this was a good time to have an honest conversation about the classic car market. And yes, while we are in a generation-defining moment and there's a huge unknown, this period will pass. I think we all have to be optimistic. Healthcare workers, politicians, people in the car community, we have to look to a better tomorrow and a better future. And that's honestly what we're seeing now. Even though that we're affected, we have friends and family that are affected health-wise, we have friends and family that are affected in their businesses. We have actually never seen so much energy and spirit and passion within our own business. We're getting more leads than ever. I have more collectors calling us from around the world. And I think this is a result of we're dealing in art. We're dealing in people's passions. We're dealing in something. These aren't just cars. They aren't just assets. When the world is affected with things like this, these are the pastimes that take us to a better day. They take us to a better moment. And we've tried to do some of that on social media. We've done a lot of things about reminiscing about great times and great events and moments in history that keep us passionate and keep us excited about the future. And I think the best result of that is you look at the recent auctions. If you've been watching bringatrailer.com, there's been some incredible results for some really high quality cars. There was a 6,000 mile Ferrari 328 that just sold for I think it was 101,000 plus fees, which is a lot of money considering what's going on in the world. And if you go back to early March, we were at the Amelia Island Concours, which is one of the largest car events in the world. And this is in a period while, let's face it, there were no Europeans traveling to the US during this period. I can't remember if the travel ban was in effect yet, but you have RM Sotheby's, Gooding & Co. and Bonhams that sold 90 to 94% of the auction lots, many reaching above their low estimate into their high estimate, and some cars bringing 20, 30% even more. If I wasn't there and I didn't witness it for myself, I would have never have believed it. And, you look at that week prior to Amelia Island, the equity markets were basically in a downward spiral. So with the exception of maybe modern hypercars and cars, newer exotic cars that were bringing a premium over MSRP, and McLaren Sennas that were selling for $250,000 over, and all these cars that you had speculators buying into these allocations, I walked away feeling that the Amelia Island weekend was extremely successful and extremely important for the collector car community. Fast forward, last week, RM Sotheby's decided to take their Palm Beach sale completely virtual into an online-only sale. Now, I actually thought this was a terrible idea, turning one of their flagship auctions into an online-only sale. But remarkably, you had close to 70% sale-through rate. You had cars bring very strong money. And again, with the exception of some hypercars and different cars like that, there was a Lamborghini Countach that needed a lot of work, a potential restoration candidate that sold for $275,000. That's strong money. I was bidding on the car between $150,000 and $200,000. So I look at this moment and I realize that passion is conquering. We've seen it in collectors calling us. We've seen it in clients reaching out to us. We've seen it even in the fact that we haven't gotten that many calls about fire sales. We haven't heard of guys looking to unload their cars. Rather, collectors and enthusiasts want to maybe get out of the volatile equity markets. Maybe they want to look for tangible assets, and maybe they want to look for assets that speak to their soul. The speculators are gone in the collector car market. I think the buyers today are guys that they truly love what they're buying. They want to learn, they want to understand, and they're looking for a way to think about the future and to think about days driving the cars or showing the cars. And it's bringing us, I would say, our entire staff a level of optimism in general. So I look at today's market as it's shifting, but it's a shift that this started a year ago. This started 6 months ago. You look at really high quality, rare cars, they're still selling. We're still buying and we're still selling cars. Yes, do people want deals? Of course. You always have a sort of this mindset of this vulture mentality or a shark mentality where guys are looking for deals. But the reality is the really great cars are selling. We recently had a one-owner, 488-mile Lamborghini Diablo 6.0. And this was not just any Diablo 6.0. It was an SC edition that made 42 for the world, 20 in gold. I haven't been able to find one of these cars in this condition since we opened. It's arguably the best Diablo we've ever seen. And we probably had 8 or 9 guys from around the country that were interested in the car, wanted to make a deal on the car. We ended up selling the car in 2 weeks. So I think we can all agree, and the markets have shown us, that today's buyer are well-heeled individuals. They're very astute. They want to learn. They're very knowledgeable. And they'll pay for excellence. They'll pay for rarity. They'll pay for provenance. And the reality is, they'll pay. And you look at the market of these 80s and 90s cars doing so well, they will pay up for the car of their childhood, their dream car as a kid. And I think that passion cannot, and it will not cease. If there's proof in that, it's proof of what's transpired, and guys still on Bring a Trailer and guys still calling us. And I don't think that'll ever cease. I think over time, these classic cars will truly be looked at as an asset for this next generation. So we're all optimistic, but at the end of the day, we're all insanely passionate, and we'll continue to eat, sleep, drink collector cars.